All right, guys. Day 3 of the Yfz450R Special Edition build. Today it got an intake. So each accessory that we've done really has been a challenge in its own. Not really hard, just like the skid plate, we had to buff the front bracket off so the bumper would fit. The A-arm guards, the powder coat was stuck in the brackets. We had to retap those. What else here? Seemed like there was a couple issues. The grab bar, all the bolts were wrong. We had to go get new bolts. Guess the pipe went nicely. There wasn't really an issue with the pipe there. Man, again, it is awesome. We're gonna do some videos later, pretty much just solely on the pipe, because in itself, just a couple clips that I've shown really can't do it justice, but you can see the quality, super nice. Anyway, yeah, so the intake. We went with a GYTR intake, I guess you could call it. It's a billet adapter that takes out the stock air filter sock inside and kind of opens it all up, and then you're allowed to put a oversized filter on it. So let me take the seat off here. I'll kind of show you what we did. Alright, so I wanted to retain the stock airbox and the stock airbox lid, only because we're from the Northeast. There's always mud and water, so we wanted the most protection we could have. So I'll show it to you here. I'll show a couple clips of us going over the parts and when we install it and stuff like that, a time lapse. But so that's the oversized GYTR air filter. The insert in between here we've replaced with a billet intake adapter. So what we had to do is take this whole airbox out, and then the stock airbox sock, I guess you could call it, or insert, is riveted in. See how these are bolts? So you actually have to drill out all the rivets of the brand new airbox, which was a little unsettling as a dad. We just bought the four-wheeler. I really don't understand why we needed to do it, but I guess I get it. So yeah, I had to drill all these rivets out, which those rivets are like stainless steel in there, so it trashed like 4 1/4-inch bits that I had, and it actually melted a few of them out. So anyway, I got those off. Kind of a pain in the butt to get this box out. So there's one bolt here, one bolt here. Those are 10mm bolts. And then you can see the tabs of the airbox are held down by this hold down here, which is 1 bolt, 2 bolt, 3 bolt, 4 bolts. So they were really hard to access, those bolts, with a 10mm wrench or socket. I should have pulled the plastics off here. It would have made it super easy, but I just knuckle-headed through it, and it was just a pain in the butt. So once you get all 4 of those bolts off, this bracket kind of pulls back. You get these 2 bolts off, and then the airbox is loose. So obviously the tube here is held on by a big hose clamp, which is a small Allen-headed hose clamp, and I have rerouted it correctly, as you can see here, so you could access it with a socket or an Allen wrench. But the people who built the bike must have put the air filter box on first and then built the bike around it, because they had the hose clamp on this side, and you can't even actually see it or touch it. But man, was it a challenge to get that hose clamp loose, I gotta say. So we took it off, flipped it around, put it on so a normal human being can access it later in life. So once you get all that off, then you think the airbox is loose, but it's really not. You got to come back down here, and this is a 10mm bolt. I think that's the AIS unit there. We're going to leave it on, but that bolt actually goes all the way through into a threaded piece in the airbox here. So you got to take that bolt all the way out. It's like a, I don't know, 6-inch looking bolt. So once you have that off, this will just set down. And now the airbox is free. So you can take this out, do whatever you need to do with it. If you're putting a different intake in, go ahead and do that. I really like the stock unit, so we did that. We'll show some clips after I'm done talking here. And then lastly, they recommend putting some sort of filter rim grease and oiling your filter. We didn't have, we had to run to the parts store, but just put like an air filter grease here to kind of create a chemical boundary and just to lubricate it, and then oiled the whole filter up. Super nice quality filter. So yeah, nice airbox lid goes back on. Oh, down there's a little rubber grommet that we had to trim a little bit away, as you can see, so the air filter was able to get in. But stock airbox, still nice quality, nice seal. Yeah, good to go there. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show the clips of us putting the intake on. sticker's looking good.
I know.
Really?
I'm glad you had to peel it off.
Look at the, I'm glad the way you said it. Just like the intake, we had to do it.
You.
It's a. I think it's just. Yeah. The moment of truth. Does it still start? Wow.
What?
That's loud.